what is injustice in your community, or how can you raise your voice to protect the people who are oppressed.
Poekoothay Podcast, Yimile Solar Posse, Teniane, Poel, Petramuriga Mono, Tramuriga de Penahuba, Miller, Bonashikali, Basane, Tiva Kilomono, Petramuriga, Levanashika, Benawa, me, Dodukan, where Mambluma Poda, Popagli, Paunamegi, Pale, copy or Pomegi, Do Pale, Tishaka, Timmy, Dodumano, Akone, Tenia, Yetiba, and Yisakudoma, Do you get test Kodalo, Jerome, Do the Clear, Saudi Vanino, where you come to our introduce like just that no. Teramu dah su nega introduce orang salah pada disini di mana no?
Yang ni teramu Dr. Cynthia Maung, ya hela where Thailand Myanmar border, Burma border.
Me teramu di pada disini baru oh salah no. Ye nak le pada disini Allah no. Teninya ni begitu sekolah di begitu le keluar keluar no. Pamne le awe pagnya keluar ni. Teramu di tesah apa aku ni awe le tak ketole ajar tepan ni awe awe kete le keluar keluar no aku ni ye ke cale keluar keluar dah awe kisah le keluar keluar. Juga mete sekolah payo le pagnya no PSC mana. Teramu, can you please tell us where you were born and what was like growing up?
I was born in Yangon. I grew up in Myanmar. So my father was health assistant, and I grew up with my 7 siblings. And since my younger age, I live and study in Myanmar, and I moved to Yangon to study medicine between 1990 to 1995.
What was your childhood like?
My parents and our family, we are very closely connected to our friends and neighbors. But actually, we can see the school. There are many children, they could not continue their education. We have our happy life, but we always see our environment. Let's say the children not very good opportunity for education, as well as we do not have enough resources for children to manage to go to school, because the children do not have enough, the parents do not have enough money to send their children to school. So our life, we can see that every year, there are some children drop out from school, but my parents work very hard to send children to school, and we all, our family, can go to school properly.
What you're doing for the Korean people and the people from Myanmar is amazing. Do you always wanted to be a doctor when you grow up?
Actually, my father was a health assistant, and he would like to be a doctor, but because of the war and situation in their village, he could not manage to go to the medical school. But he want their children to work as health professional and doctor. So I follow my fathers. Fathers want me to be a doctor. So for me, I just follow what my father did. And my father also used to travel a lot in the rural and remote area to improve health status of these people. You need to reach out to the community, and they have very difficulties to access healthcare services in the city. So going to the rural area or vaccination and TB, malaria treatment is very important. So public health, as my public health professional, he do a lot of health education, health promotion activities, and he work very closely with his colleagues like midwife, who has to deliver baby at home, or sometimes they are facing the challenge for referring patient to the hospital. So I see the challenges, difficulty people in Myanmar facing with the access to healthcare service.
Very good. So if I may ask, if you're not doing a doctor now, what will you be doing now?
Actually, our work as a medical doctor, they are different professional or different skill, not only directly treating the patient, sometimes the teacher also, like especially on the border area, we can see that the teacher also have to work very hard, not only teaching in the classroom, they're responsible for taking care of sick child, or sometimes they see that the child being neglected. So the teacher also have the same responsibility, just whether you are doctor or nurse or public health workers or teacher, or sometimes also women leaders in the village. They have to work together to improve healthcare access. So health is not only like medical issue. We have to work comprehensively for both prevention, curative, rehabilitation. So you have to work as a team. So for me, if I'm not become doctor, but it is privilege for us to become doctor because we are much closer understanding about the body, anatomy, physiology, but also you need to understand about how to teach other people to learn about their culture or their health or emotion, as well as how to work together to improve your community. So I think as a medical doctor, we are very privileged to get this opportunity. Actually, we have to work with many others professional to improve the status.
Very interesting. And I wanted to know, like, how do you start Mae Tao Clinic and what come into your mind at the time? What was your inspiration to study Mae Tao Clinic?
Let's say in 1988, when the military cracked down the pro-democracy movement, we see that very, very unfair because the students are demand for their rights, because the student need to go to school without financial hardship, or the student in Myanmar also, they have to make like a association or connection to maintain their connection, as well as to improve the education situation in Myanmar. But actually, the military cracked down all the democracy movement, and then they take control of the power and killing people who are like peacefully protest on the road, and they were arresting thousands of people, put into the jail. So we see that very unfair society, and the government don't take accountability and responsibility for the citizen. Especially while I was working in one of the current village, we can see that many young people are also struggling for supporting the military activities. And they are very poor, and also the parents have to send them for helping the military. So when they return back to the village, they do not get health care or any compensation. So we see that very unfair and unjust society. It will make people very poor, oppressed. So this oppressive military regime and unfair treatment of the civilian need to change. That's why the students are the first group who protest. But finally, it was cracked down, and I myself also, I feel that we should continue doing better things, and to work with other people. You cannot work alone. But actually, I haven't been to the border, and I have no contact with some people on the border. But when I fled to the border, I see that thousands of internal displaced people or villages, they do not access to healthcare. They never see doctors, and they do not have teachers, and they are very poor. So I start feeling that we can do something together with local teachers or some health workers, because there are few health workers and teachers. They work very hard to provide healthcare and education. So since the beginning, there are health workers and teachers with the support from the local community. We can able to establish like a community health center. Actually, initially, when I crossed to the border, there is no support from international community, but the local community leaders also helping us to make sure that we are safe or we get some support. And since that time, we start training medical volunteer and we recruit the ethnic health workers or villagers who want to work for their community and who want to save the life of their children or their family member. So I see that many young people who want to study medicine. That's why our clinic become not only serving the people or providing services, we have to help them to connect to the different community leaders and to get access for education for their own village to improve their status of health program in their own village.
Thank you. And you already mentioned before that there's a lot of difficulty when study the clinic. What was one difficulty that is stuck with you and you can't forget?
Being living in Myanmar is like in the poverty. No? People are in poverty. So we always see that people come to the hospital very challenging. They have to come far away. Or many children also drop out of school because they have to help the family member. That's why the clinic is not just setting up as clinic. It's also a safe area for people fled from the war and conflicts. But the difficulties is people come and donate rice or people donate medical equipment or sometimes people are helping us to refer a patient to the hospital. But we stay in Thailand without legal documents. And our staff also very afraid that the police will come and arrest us. Or maybe when we go outside, whoever we see wearing uniform, people are afraid. Whether they are police or immigration or teacher or whoever wearing uniform. And then none of us don't speak the local language. And we've never been to Thailand before. So the difficulty is sometimes not only we feeling like not enough resources supply, we have to make connection with different community leaders to protect us because the legal requirement, we are not medical professional in Thailand. We are not staying in Thailand with document. So we are always threatened by some official. They not directly threatened, but we always concerned about the security of our own status, or maybe with the clinic, how can we continue exits without legal status in Thailand?
Yeah, that might be very challenging, especially living in another country and working in there without status. And how do you stand in that country without the status? Well, what kind of support or help do you get for the local government?
Well, actually, in the Thai health or education system, they have very strict on providing like services for as a medical, but there are thousands of people who cannot go to the Thai hospital because they do not speak language or they do not have connection or they do not have money. So in this case, we have to help them to go to the hospital and we have to find the local people who can do interpretation. And then gradually the hospital director and the local health worker, they learn about the clinic because as we bring more and more patients, they also see that there is the need for healthcare services is huge. They cannot manage by themselves. As we are local people, local language, we can speak the language with the patient, we can communicate properly. and then patient not afraid to go to the Thai hospital and come to us first. So they know that the Thai local doctor nurses, they also want to help us. So initially one of the local doctors, he very much like understanding about the public health or humanity issue. So he helped us to establish like a vaccination program, because many children who crossing the border or from Myanmar or who were born in Thailand, they cannot get vaccine. And many pregnant women also deliver at home, very unsafe condition. So they help us to make maternal child health program. So since that time, the local hospital acknowledge or support our work. And at the same time, the local Thai community also understand how the difficulties or challenge the clinic facing, and as well as how they also hearing about all the war, and they see the people crossing, fleeing from the conflict. So they used to support or helping the displaced people, like they donate food, or they help to interpret, like doing interpretation to go to the hospital. So the local community, the Thai community or the Korean community also, since they've been working together on the border for several years, they also try to support our work.
So you got a lot of help when you first started about the local community, and also for the Korean community and people who donate rice. And what is the funding situation now, and what are the difficulties you're facing now?
So our program and services being expanded gradually, because more and more displaced people in Myanmar, also people getting like getting poor and poor. So many young people also moving to Thailand as migrant laborers. So in the area where we work, they are almost, before the military coup in 2021, there are almost around 250,000 migrants or undocumented people. And after the coup, 2021, we see more and more patients come to us, and many children also crossing the border from Myanmar to Thailand to study. So we need more support and more funding, because the funding from international agency or institutional grants, sometimes they come and go because of the grant period, or depend on the political situation in Myanmar and Thailand. So gradually, to maintain these services, we have to make more connection with not only rely on the international donors, we also have to make connection with our diaspora family or some foundation who would like to donate or contribute to support the people. So our funding comes from different sources, like from government, like institutional grant, NGO, also some of the local like fundraising activities or in the individual donation. And we also have to encourage people how much they afford to pay, or how much they can able to pay. So that if they have job, they can support or contribute like 10% or 5%, whatever they can contribute. We have to pull all the resources and fund. At the same time, we need more health workers. We need more doctor nurses to work, because we see more complex cases. So when the funding is always challenges, but we always need to make more connection, because the government funding usually come and go, but we need the community itself have to mobilize resources from their own, based on their own ability to raise funds in the community, or how can they support their own community. So it is challenging time, because many people are moving around or mobile, but you have to continue make connection between communities to communities, so that people can help or support each other. And at the same time, we have to make more awareness through our network, both locally and internationally. So people contribution is very important, not only from the government. So the challenges is always financial. It's always challenges, but we also have to continue make connection, and we have to have the spirits of working together to protect health and human rights and to make sure that the children are safe.
I agree. Yeah, it is good to have a connection and build a network. And I also wanted to know, because you help a lot of people, and if those people wanted to give back, or financially, or even if they wanted to volunteers, what other way they can do?
Firstly, the organization on the border here, and they are also already existing network. So some organization working on health, so they work together on providing healthcare access, as well as how depend on the available resources, how to make sure all the assistance deliver effectively. So to make connection, the organization on the border also have to have a strong network, as well as to have a strong organization to ensure that their organization or their management is strong. At the same time, to make connection with the international community or diaspora family or people want to return back home in the area where you are, you also have to make connection among yourself, because only individual cannot work for a long time alone. So like in Melbourne or Sydney or America, so you have to have a strong connection among yourself, so that some people can contribute funding, some people contribute their time. At the same time, you have to have a strong connection, as well as to make sure that you are connected with the community. So you have to prepare or build your capacity to manage like institutional development, or to make sure that each individual have to continue make sure that their personal development. But at the same time, you have to learn from the each other, because people grow up in a different situation. People have different experience, but you always have to learn from each other. How can you make sure that you are to work together, how to respect each other, and how to become more supportive for the people you work with.
So, for example, me or someone with medical background, if they wanted to go back and volunteer at Mae Tao Clinic, they can contact you directly, or do they have to go through another organization?
For Mae Tao Clinic, we already have a system. No, we used to have medical volunteer program, and some are medical students, some like medical students from all over the world, like Sweden or US or England. They come and work for their clinical internship or practice for 4 weeks, 8 weeks. So we have a program to accept the medical student. So usually we have around 40 to 50 medical students. They working together with our staff. For the doctor and nurses who already graduate and who already have experience, they can stay longer because we need to stay longer period and to understand the local context, as well as to make more connection with the people. So sometimes we have up to 2 years, 3 years medical volunteers stay with us, like based on their specialty. Like some of those are physiotherapists, or some of them psychologists and obstetricians. So we have always medical volunteer are around us. So it is a very good opportunity for international community or medical people to learn about the border issue, or not only the border. The border health is not only the medical issue, this is like a more public health, and how to strengthen the health system through working with the local community or encourage local community engagement, as well as to have a good policy to make sure for safety and protection for the health.
Yeah, and they can find all the information on your Facebook and your website, and then they can register their interest in.
We have a volunteer program management group team, so they can communicate.
Them?
And
how do they contact them? By phone or website?
We have website.
Okay.
So in the website, you can see how can apply for medical volunteers.
Yep.
And then which area also the medical volunteer coordinator also helping them to make more easier or to access information.
Yeah. Apart from healthcare, what other service do you provide?
For our belief is like health is not only the medical. Health mean like both physical health, mental health, psychosocial health, and especially for children, women, health is very important to make sure that they are protected. So women, children protection, or people who access education are also very important to promote health in the community. That's why medical is curing, not only curing the illnesses, also to prevent from harm, to protect from violence, or to make sure that if they are suffering, you have to help them to build your own strength, mean like rehabilitation. Because today you can see that many people suffer from ill health because of the mental health, because of the war and separated from the families. And also many people become disabled. So they do have both physically, mentally, psychologically, they suffer. So to make sure that the healthy society, we have to approach more comprehensively. That's why our work is training for young people to engage with comprehensively when you address the health issue.
And you have been doing this for a long time. Have you ever feel like give it up? And what gives you strength to keep going?
Actually, the situation is not getting better, actually, because of the situation in Myanmar, like human rights violation and obstruction of the humanitarian work, and also many young people, they have to leave from their home to become as a migrant labor without proper job opportunity. So this is a terrible situation, but there are always, you can see that in the refugee camp or in internal displaced people, many young people and leaders, they're working very hard to take care of their own community. So we are like only helping them to establish their own community and to develop their own services. So many young people are working very hard in their own community, and teachers, health workers, they are always looking opportunity to protect and protect their children or to improve the health services for their people. So I'm also working with the people who are displaced. So many of those young people, they become nurse or midwife, and they deliver a baby, and they also have to do like life-saving service vaccination program, as well as they have to do the health promotion activities in the village. So they are the key providers, and they are also the leaders. So we have to help them. We have to continue help them.
So seeing the impact that you're doing to the people, that give you strength to keep going. Is that, yeah?
Yes. Okay. You can see the benefit or impact. You see like many young people engage with the health education work.
Yeah.
They also build their network, and they also raise their voice. And also many of those to become the leaders in the community. They are very highly respected by the community.
Yeah, correct. I can see the example because I see a lot of your students or people who you mentor or mentee become very successful, and some of them become leaders. And you coming to here in Australia, I know a lot of them want to come to you, but because some difficulty, it's very hard for them to come to you. So what would you say to your students or the people who you work with? Do you have any say to them?
Firstly, they have now they have much better opportunity and they already stronger because they get better education. They have their own personal development plan or they are safe. And at the same time, they can provide better education for their children and they can learn from the different culture or different system. So we have to learn from what is appropriate or what is the best way to give back to the community. So you always need to continue learning and then making the strong partner with the people who are similar situation with you. So making connection among yourself and also continue develop your personal development as well as you have to have you're building your new ideas or you have to make sure that your daily life is also to satisfy your own daily life. So that means you can help more people.
Yeah. And what would you say to the young people who is watching? Because a lot of young people watching all over around the world. What advice would you give to them?
The young people, we are looking always, they are the future of the country. So if you are country or society or not only like looking at in one specific area, wherever you go, the young people are always we have to encourage them to make more leadership role as well as to keep learning, especially in this situation, the war is going on everywhere in the country. So how can you make more peaceful life in your family or in your own community? Because if the war is going on, nobody's safe. And if the war is going on, people suffer like all diseases and death and disability. And we lost a lot of opportunity for developing ourselves as well as developing the country. So we have to learn yourself how to make peace, how to live peacefully, how to respect each other, and again how to make sure that your step, you have to go step by step, but you always have to be very mindful about how your work make people feel safe and respectful, and as well as to be justice for everybody.
Yeah. Can you also give advice to the young people or parents who doesn't speak English in Burmese?
ဒီနေ့ဒီအခြေအနေမှာကြည့်မယ်ဆိုရင်တော့ဗောနော်တစ်ကမ္ဘာလုံးမှာစစ်ပွဲတွေလည်းဖြစ်တယ်စစ်ပွဲတွေကပိုများလာတယ်လူတွေကကိုယ့်ရဲ့မိသားစုကိုယ့်ရဲ့ရပ်ရွာကိုယ့်ဒေသမှာတည်ငြိမ်မှုမရှိဘဲနဲ့နေထိုင်ရတဲ့အခြေအနေတွေတွေ့မယ်ဆိုရင်ဒါတွေကတော့ဒါလူတစ်ယောက်နဲ့တစ်ယောက်နဲ့ကြားထဲမှာတော့ညှိနှိုင်းဆောင်ရွက်မှုတွေတစ်ယောက်နဲ့တစ်ယောက်နဲ့အပြန်အလှန်လေးစားမှုတွေနောက်တော့တစ်ယောက်ရဲ့ဂုဏ်သိက္ခာကိုတစ်ယောက်တန်ဖိုးထားမှုတွေမရှိတာတွေတောင်ဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်ကျမတို့လူငယ်လူရွယ်တွေအနေနဲ့ကတော့ဒီလိုစစ်ပွဲတွေကိုဆက်လက်ပြီးတော့ရပ်တန့်သွားဖို့နေနိုင်သမျှနေဖို့ဆိုတာကကြတော့ကိုယ့်ရဲ့နေ့စဉ်လုပ်ငန်းတွေမှာနေ့စဉ်ဘဝတွေမှာပေါ့နော်ဒီတရားမျှတမှုရှိဖို့နဲ့ဒီကူညီခြင်းနဲ့ကူညီတတ်တဲ့စိတ်ဆန္ဒတွေရှိဖို့နောက်တော့ကိုလည်းအမြဲတန်ဖိုးထားပြီးတော့တခြားလူတွေနဲ့ပူးပေါင်းဆောင်ရွက်တတ်တဲ့အလေးအကျင့်တွေကိုတခြားသောမိတ်ဆွေအပေါင်းအသင်းတွေနဲ့နောက်ကိုလုပ်ဖို့ကိုင်ဘက်တွေနဲ့ပေါ့နော်ပူးပေါင်းဆောင်ရွက်တတ်တဲ့အလေးအကျင့်တွေကိုငငယ်တွေကစပြီးတော့မွေးထုတ်မယ်လူငယ်ဘဝကနေရွေးထုတ်မယ်ဆိုရင်တော့ကျမတို့ကဒီမျှော်လင့်ချက်တွေပေါ့အငြိမ်းချမ်းရေးအတွက်မျှော်လင့်ချက်တွေပိုရှိလာမယ်ပို့ပြီးတော့ကျမတို့အနာဂတ်အတွက်ကလေးများအတွက်ပို့ပြီးတော့ကောင်းမွန်တဲ့ဘဝတွေကိုဖန်တီးနိုင်မှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်
Thank you so much. And is there anything else you wanted to say to the viewer?
One thing I need to highlight is like we always need to follow how the justice, for the justice and peace always come together. So you have to be very mindful about what is injustice in your community or how can you raise your voice to protect the people who are oppressed by unfair environment.
တဘလဒမနော်ပစလီဘာကေသရမှုဒမလေဟေဘာတာရှကတော့ le tes kola dunia ye no do ye semula le kemalo ni bata do lo ma no ata le khoflo se pha ni phaili mo no do betem kan le bono shikhane bana huba ata magi mawa le popagli pa nya me ge tipu quality clear ko clear di le tipu ko pu me ge mo no teacher ko che me ge ne one do do ko ne pe sipri ba o le ta khile ma we do ta phida ma le we ma we kha sunya se pha pe semula le koma awe ke thot do thot no awe le ta mula ta to pa se de pham no pe sipli ba le ta cho to le he pone lo tablet do su mo za ko aro focus e ta khota ke se de pha ne no su he le pe Facebook me ge do su le pe website do su le ma lo da ko nyo klo me ge do podcast se de pha tele kwa sin lo tablet pha do